All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our annual AP Honors Curriculum meeting. This is a meeting that we hold each year to make sure our parents and students are aware of our AP Honors course offerings and any new updates that we have related to academic opportunities for high school students at our school. I think you'll find tonight to be informative. You'll also notice tonight that you'll get some information on our new dual enrollment opportunity as well. And we'll introduce to you a new guidebook that will also be extremely important in terms of parents and students making the best course selections for their academic year, next school year. So as mentioned, the purpose of this is to learn about our options and academic opportunities for students in grades 9 through 12. This is an annual meeting that we do. This is the second time that we have done this meeting via Zoom. And this meeting also is being recorded. So you'll have access to this meeting after it is finalized, and you'll be able to reach it on, access it rather on the school's YouTube channel, all right? What you find here is a schematic of what our counselors have prepared that is called a transcript audit form. And our high school counselors will meet with students to ensure that they are on track for graduation. Right now, we have a 100% graduation rate, and our intent is to keep that going. But what will be different this year and next year, or has been different rather this year and will be different next year, is that parents will receive much more one-on-one attention. Now that we have 2 counselors on staff, there'll be many more conferences. Juniors have already had their conferences to prepare them for senior year. And as needed, our graduation coach will also be a part of the conferences to ensure that our students are on track as far as graduation requirements are concerned. So what you see here, and keep in mind, you should receive this PowerPoint for your review after the meeting is over if you registered for the meeting. What you see here is a sample guide of, a pullout from our curriculum guide. This is our course, this is a view of our course progression table. Mr. Brown is going to go into this in detail a bit more, but what you see here is that the courses are all written out. So there's a course of study, an academic course of study for all students, grades 6 through 12 in English, math, science, social studies, world languages, health, personal fitness, in all of the arts areas and elective offerings. Here is the new thing for everyone, and it is absolutely essential that you tune in here and begin listening very, very closely. This year, we have written our school's curriculum guide. I am aware that there is a district curriculum guide that is an overgirding umbrella for all schools. Okay, so there are resources there, but we have created a curriculum guide book that will serve as our academic Bible, so to speak. This is the book that you will refer to frequently during your course selections. I encourage you, when you receive this book, when it goes live, that you read it, you become intimately familiar with it, and that you use this guidebook to make your course selections for next school year. Everything is in the curriculum guide, and we are directing all traffic to that document. You notice here that there's a QR code. When students receive their course selection forms, the documents they use to pick their classes and that the student will sign on and you will sign off on as a parent, you will notice that there's a QR code at the top of the page when you receive that document, okay? Our counselors are going to release that document next week on the 13th. And it's important that you take that document, scan the QR code, open the curriculum guide, and begin reading it. We'll also have this document available on our school's website, so that you will, if you struggle a bit with the curriculum guide, you'll be able to readily access it as a Google Doc on the school's website as well. All right. Yes, sir. So we're ready for the next one.
Oh, sorry. There we go. I think this one's me, Dr. Williams.
All right, so now I'm gonna pass the ball over to Mr. Brown, who is going to start here, extending our curriculum guide through this conversation, and we'll discuss the course 4-year sequence at our school, and then we'll go forward with counselor presentations afterwards. Please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Ms. Obert is monitoring the chat there for you. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop them there, and we'll do the best we can to answer them. Mr. Brown?
Good evening, everyone. Really happy to be here with you all, and I'm excited to get to show you something we've been working on for quite some time now, this curriculum guide that Dr. Williams has mentioned. This evening, we're going to highlight a few components of that, and one of them is on the screen right now. That's our 4-year course sequence. So what does the high school experience look like within the main academic content areas: English, social studies, math, science? You're going to have a chance to dig into that document a little bit more and look at the on-level and advanced tracks that we have and the courses that are offered through those 4 years. Dr. Williams mentioned that you should be receiving an email tonight. That is absolutely correct. It should have gone out when the meeting started. So if you poke around in your inbox, you can feel free to follow along in the presentation tonight. There are links here which are active, and they will take you to that curriculum guide so you can start exploring yourself. Just so you know, it's about a 65-page document. There's a whole lot of stuff in there, everything from these types of progressions to course descriptions, course placement guidelines, which we'll touch on in a little bit. You know, what are teachers looking for in order to promote your child to that particular advanced level class that they really want to be in, right? Because certainly we want to make sure your child is going to be successful. Next up is the our slide here about honors courses. You may be aware that we do offer several honors courses in middle school, but this presentation tonight is having to do with the high school experience. Within each of our 4 areas, there's a number of honors courses that are available. And later in the presentation, our guidance department will talk about how honors courses can improve a student's GPA. Again, all of this is listed in our curriculum guide. I'm going to be saying that a lot. My last slide is about AP courses. I am also the advanced placement coordinator here in the building, the liaison for College Board. You know, right now we're in the throes of preparing for the exam season, which is ahead. And we are, as an administrative team, already thinking ahead to the AP courses that we're going to be offering here in the building next year. We do have a section of our guide that's dedicated to that. I know parents are always eager to learn what will we be offering this year. This again, I'm just so excited to share this document because this is school in a box, right? This is what you will be able to dig into and read about on your own. This document empowers you all as parents and students to go and learn. And certainly through the course request process, you're going to have a chance to tell us what you want to take. That way we make sure that we're able to offer it here in the building. Dr. Williams, anything else that you would like mentioned about these various types of courses before we pass it over to the guidance department?
Okay, here we go. I'm unmuted now. All right, so I would like to mention that it's also important that if you do elect to take AP courses, that you understand that there is an exam associated with the course, and each parent, when you complete the course registration process, you will have to sign what is called a work agreement. That work agreement will outline expectations around engagement and rigor in AP courses and in honors courses at our school. So please, again, always moving forward, refer to the curriculum guide for these details, become intimately familiar with them as you make your decisions. And also be sure when you get your course registration materials from our school counselors on the 13th of this month, that you review the academic work agreement associated with AP classes and honors classes. Once students are in those classes, they are in those classes. So when you sign off on it and the work agreement, that is a binding agreement. That means that students must go in determined, focused, with the right mindset to be competitive and do extremely well in the AP courses and our honors courses as well. Okay.
I saw one note in the chat there. Looks like we're having some trouble accessing the document. So I'm going to paste a link right now in the chat just to make sure that everybody can access that document while we're in the meeting here so we can get to your questions. And I'll do that in just a moment. We'll pass it off to guidance now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Veronica Jefferson. I'm one of the counselors here at Rainey, and I'm going to be speaking with you briefly about dual enrollment opportunities. This is new to us this year, and we're partnering with about 6 Georgia schools, and they're listed here: Albany State, Atlanta Metropolitan State, Columbus State, Columbus Tech, Georgia State, and Savannah State. All of our dual enrollment classes, students will take virtual. They have already started the process of testing and getting admission status for those schools. A question in the chat came up about, will this affect the trip to Spain that will last for 11 days? That we have told the students that they're going to have to be in contact with their professors in order to get their work and take a Chromebook with them, and hopefully they'll be able to get their work there. That's not a question we can give a definite answer to, but we have given them advice on how to handle that. As we said, the courses will be virtual. They will be on campus. They will have a study skill course in their schedule where they will have the whole 90 minutes to work on their dual enrollment class. Next slide. Next, we're going to be talking about weighted classes. As you know, we're on a 4.0 scale, but if your student take honor classes, their GPA is weighted by 0.5 point. And if they take AP or dual enrollment classes, their GPA is weighted by a whole point. Of course, for Hope only recognizes a 0.5 point. So that's why it shows the different scales for honors, AP, and Hope. When we had our junior meetings, we gave parents pamphlets on differentiating between the scales. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the guidance department, and we'll go into greater detail with you about the GPA scale if you have any questions. Of course, benefits of honors, AP, and dual enrollment classes, of course, we've said is the weighted GPA. It allows you to compete for the SAL and VAL placement in school. You can stand out in college admissions. You can earn college credits. Of course, if you're earning college credits through AP, you have to pass the test with a 3 or a 4. Or a 5, and then of course it's up to the student to reach out to that college to make sure they will accept your AP course, your AP testing grade. Most schools accept it, but there is some that don't. So we are sure to let the students know that. We ask them to begin researching colleges as early as freshman year to set up for AP and dual enrollment to hopefully get their freshman courses out of the way and give them ahead of the game to save some money. So we have the Rise Lounge. For those of you who don't know, it's our college and career center, and it's open for students to research these different colleges, different AP courses, different dual enrollment goals, and all of that nature. So of course, if you have any questions for your guidance department, we are here to help you. And I have alphabet A through L for all students 6 through 12.
I want to chime in here, if I may add one thing before we go into the fine arts majors. It's important to know that when the grade is earned, it is on the transcript. So if your student participates in dual enrollment, understand that this will be on the high school transcript and will also be on the college transcript. So if the student gets an A in the class, and you know, they that will go on their transcript for high school and college. If the student gets a D or F in the class, that will go on their transcript for high school and will also go on the transcript for college. It also plays into graduation requirements. So let's say, for example, a student is taking a dual enrollment course that is aligned to what the state of Georgia says is the course equivalent for graduation. If that student is not, successful in that class, that student will then be behind by a graduation requirement. So if you are interested in dual enrollment, or if you have a student that is interested in dual enrollment, Understand that this is a different level of rigor and expectation. All of it, as Ms. Jefferson said, will be online. There is no option to leave campus. Our schedule will just not allow for students to leave campus and go take courses. But yeah, they can't leave campus to take classes. And the importance of being an independent, focused student is extremely vital here. There are no parent conferences with teachers at the school at Rainey-McCullers. There are no, principal, teacher, counselor call and reach out to the university to check on the student. There are no progress reports from the K through 12. I mean, through the 9 through 12 environment. Everything is pushed over to the college university that the student is enrolled in for dual enrollment. And that's that side over there. The only thing we are associated with is providing a space for students to take the course virtually during their course schedule during the school day, and the posting of the grade on the transcript on our end. But again, there's no responsibility in terms of keeping up with the academic progress of the student in dual enrollment. That is all 100% on the student and on the family to take care of. All right.
Dr. Williams, we had a question about do colleges take weighted GPAs? And that's up to the specific college. They look at, most of them do look at weighted GPAs, but both GPAs are on the transcript, the weighted and the unweighted. So the student will have to reach out to that college to see which GPA they're looking at. But for the most part, they do look at the weighted GPA.
I guess that means it's my turn. I'm Dr. Sparks, and I'm 1/3 of the dynamic counseling trio that is at Rainey-McCullers. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing the fine arts majors and also some compacts and contracts that are required of all RM-SOTA students. So as far as our fine arts majors, each high school student is expected to complete a minimum of 2 fine arts major courses each year. And these courses will be determined by their fine arts teacher based on their current performance or past performance and auditions. Student reminders. This is pretty self-explanatory, but we will not be accepting schedule changes or course selections during the summer. All course selections will be made prior to spring break. As mentioned several times during this program, we're planning to pass out the course selection sheets on February the 13th. The deadline to turn those in will be February the 21st. And once we get those course selection sheets, we will be entering that information in hopes that we will be able to send home a form so that everyone can see what has been entered. This is not your schedule. It is just what you've selected on your course request. You will have your required courses, you will have your elective courses, and you will have your alternate courses. Teacher changes will not be permitted. And also on that slide, it talked about being prepared to understand that you're picking these alternate courses because there is a good possibility that you might have to have one of your alternate courses. We have a small faculty, and so we're trying to offer as many courses as we can, but we do not have the flexibility or the availability to offer multiple sections of courses. And so you have to have your required academic courses and your required fine arts courses. And so you may not be able to take the elective that you selected. In that case, you will be put in one of your alternate courses. Here's one of the compacts that I mentioned. All magnet students are required to have this signed by both the student and the parent. And basically it says that you will maintain an 80 or higher in your major arts classes and a 70 or higher in all your courses. These are the requirements. And when these requirements are not met, you will be put on academic probation. And these meetings occur at the end of each semester. Any student not meeting these requirements will have an individual meeting with a counselor or a member of the administrative team to discuss what needs to happen to get back on track so that you can remain a student at Rainey-McCullers. The next contract that I would like to talk about are our advanced course contracts. So any student taking an honors level course that would include an AP, honors, or advanced course would be required to sign this agreement. And these have to be returned before the schedules can be finalized. And it just identifies what the requirements are. Dr. Williams spoke about this earlier on. If you sign up for an advanced course, you will return this. Once you have returned this form, you will not be allowed to change your schedule. You're in the course and you need to understand the requirements.
Thank you, Dr. Sparks and guidance team. At this point, we're ready to take questions in the chat. So please do utilize it down there. I know Dr. Williams is already replying to some messages regarding scheduling conflicts and requirements for getting seals on diplomas. So keep those questions coming. If you do not have further questions, though, this is the end of the presentation tonight. One note, thank you for those of you who let us know you had trouble accessing the curriculum guide. I'm going to resend that message in a few minutes here and just make sure that the correct link is letting everyone access the document. But we really appreciate you joining us tonight. And like we've already mentioned, beginning next week, next Monday, February 13th, your child will be coming home with a course registration form. We'll have a QR code that's going to have access to this curriculum guide. We're going to be posting a link to the guide in multiple places for our faculty, for our parent community, for our students to access. We want you to read. So please dig in and try it out, play around with it. Let us know what questions you have. We've gone through this document multiple times with our in-house team, our leadership team of department chairs and their teachers that they work with. We've also had district officials look through the document and verify a lot of things with us. Not to say that there couldn't be an error, but just so that you know, the creation of this document has been a long time coming, and it's going to serve us very well as a school community in the months and years to come. So like I said, please put those questions in the chat. Otherwise, y'all have a great night. Appreciate you joining us.
All right, at this time, it appears that the chat has kind of stopped a bit. So we're going to dismiss from the meeting. If you have any questions, please send an email to me or to Mr. Brown. And you may also reach out to your counselors. Yes, Ms. Lawyer, guidance counselors are available for appointments from parents. So just reach out to your respective counselor and you can set up a time to meet with them. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. You have a good evening. We look forward to seeing your children at school bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you very much.